for some international news, according to a BBC report. The UK's move to require arrivals from Spain to self-isolate for 14 days come into effect as of yesterday, just hours after the change was announced, anchoring travellers and travel operators. The airline industry reacted with dismay, calling it a big blow. The UK's biggest tour operator has cancelled all mainland Spanish holidays until August 9th. British Airways is still operating flights, but said the move was throwing thousands of Britain's travel plans into chaos. However, UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab defended the swift decision. And on to today's weather forecast. The morning period will experience partly cloudy conditions at times with periods of showers and/or rain and the medium chance of the isolated thunderstorm with gradual improvement during the afternoon. Gusty winds and street or flash floods can be experienced in areas under heavy showers and thunderstorms. Seas slight to moderate with waves 1.5 to 2.0 meters in open waters and near calm in sheltered areas. High tides at 9:13 a.m. and 8:48 p.m. Low tides at 3:16 p.m. Sunset at 6:30 p.m. Temperatures are expected to reach a high of 30 degrees Celsius. It is presently 27 degrees. And that brings us to the end of the 6 a.m. news. Join us again at 7 a.m. for more news. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a safe and good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day. A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
And a very good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you very much for choosing 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper. I am Kenrick Jaggernaut, welcoming you to today's edition of the morning program, You Talk on 975. It's just about 12 minutes here past the hour of 6 o'clock. And a note, that time check came to you through the kind KDC of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Vancouver South. Well, at this time, let me hand you over to Uma Ratan Singh for today's daily horoscope.
Welcome to the airwaves of U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. We are coming to you live from number 42 Exchange Lot, Scoover. And you can also catch us on YouTube at RCL U975 and Facebook. It's a great morning to wake up to another day of life and blessings to serve your purpose. Take a moment and prepare yourself to begin this day with peace, love and positive energies. Let U97.5 FM be your companion throughout the day and night as we bring to your homes, vehicles, offices and hearts great programming throughout the day and night with news, daily horoscope, talk shows, recipes, musical entertainment and much more. It's a blessed and positive morning as we get ready to face the day. I am Ratan Singh. Good morning and welcome to your daily horoscope for Monday, July 27th, brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road, Chase Village, for all your puja needs. Let's see what the stars have in store for you today. Aries. Whilst the day isn't without its problems, on the whole the mood is upbeat and you should find solutions quickly. You are embarking on a more pleasant stretch in your life, something which will come as a relief to you. In love, you might find yourself on the receiving end of a romantic dinner, courtesy of a happy partner. Taurus. You're worse out by the constant pressure that you've been under recently. You've been working very hard and feeling exhausted. Having been brought to your very limits, you're not in the mood for much. No wonder you're irritable and on the edge, and you do need to do something about that, like taking better care of yourself and a little rest. In love, things are looking up in your relationship and you have the chance to rekindle the flame. Gemini, you're feeling pretty low right now, with your fears and insecurities about the future having gotten the better of you. But it's no use getting all downhearted and giving up on yourself. Lift up your heart, pick up yourself and move forward in a positive note. In love, engage your partner in positive conversations to bring them closer to you. Cancer, you have great aspirations and dreams and equally high capabilities. If you want to achieve your goals, you'll have to put in 100%. Always remember that nothing is easy, especially success. So keep fighting and don't get discouraged. In love, show more love and affection to your partner. Leo, you've got a pretty full schedule at the moment, and this is monopolizing all your time and energy. You need to take a break and get some rest, and take care of your health, beauty, and appearance. This will spring back your energy, performance, and appearance. In love, things are heading in a better and more understanding direction. Virgo, there's a negative climate all around you today. Multiple developments are likely to make this day somewhat difficult for you. If you want to avoid making matters worse, try to keep a distance from all this. Don't let it affect you. Keep yourself to yourself. In love, communication lines are open for you and your partner to have discussions. Libra, new developments come to the fore today, which shake up the status quo, and it's all in your favor, dear Libra. With things that change, come opportunities to set your plans into motion and improve your life on every level. Your loved one is at your side to support you all the way. In love, you are happy where you are. Scorpio, you are feeling optimistic, sure of your every move and confident in your abilities today. This helps you achieve whatever you set your mind to do, which will bring victory. In love, you see your love life being fulfilled. Sagittarius, others are strongly doubting your ideas and plans, but you are so sure of yourself and where you're going that they cannot imagine a dent in your armor. You gain strength from those trying to pull you down. In love, you're ready to live your best life. Capricorn, you are ready to start sorting things out in your mind. reviewing your views and your strategy. You are feeling much more self-assured and confident about the future and improving your life. In love, you are now better understanding to your partner and ready to help in any way. Aquarius, you'll have the chance to get all your affairs in order today, especially around matters that you felt stuck and irritated about. This will finally let you move forward with all your plans without distractions. In love, you're ready to set goals in your relationship. Pisces, you're feeling so upset and impatient today that you run the risk of acting rashly and making silly mistakes. Once you calm down a little, you will realize exactly what you have done. You'll be finally ready to do your best to remedy the situation. In love, you're ready to apologize, make up, and move on. And that's your horoscope for today, brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road Chase Village for all your puja needs. And if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you from the management and staff of U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. And if it's your anniversary, happy blessed anniversary. And your quote for today: you are beautiful, powerful, brilliant, and brave. Believe in yourself and you are ready to take on the world. Thank you for joining me for your daily horoscope. I am Irma Ratin Singh, wishing you a safe, blessed, and positive day and week ahead.
Well, it's just about 20 minutes here past the hour of 6 o'clock, and note that time check came to you through the kind KDC of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Good morning, people. Good morning, and thank you very much for being with us here at 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Let's go to some commercials this morning, and when I come back, of course, we'll take a look at what are some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Today, a very historic day in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, today it's the anniversary of the July 27th attempted coup. We're going to touch base with that a bit later on the program. But for now, let's hear this.
Puja Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and cremation materials. Also available books, mithai and murtis made to order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Chaguanas. Contact 671-3849.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Couva Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Couva. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
Yes, indeed, and a very good morning again, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to today's edition of the morning program, You Talk, on 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Today, it's Monday, July 27, 2020. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, it's just about 25 minutes here past the hour of 6 o'clock. And note, that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the Couva South constituency. I am Kenrick Juggernaut, and yes, I'll be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning as both Nicole Duki and myself, we look at some of the issues of the day, the challenges facing us here in Trinidad and Tobago, and also give you, our ardent listening audience, an opportunity to share your thoughts and to share your views with us. But to do so, you need to call us this morning at 636-7547, 227-5739, and you can also WhatsApp us at 378-4975. Well, at this time, let's take a look at some of the stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Remember, you can go outside there and purchase your copy of this publication. It is priced at only $3 and it's available at all leading newsstands throughout the country. Well, on the front cover of today's edition, a very graphic photograph indeed, showing a leader of the Jamaat al-Muslimin, Yassin Abu Bakr. This as he surrenders to army forces on August 1st, 1990, after staging an attempted coup on July 27th, 1990. 30 years ago to today's date, holding hostages at the Trinidad and Tobago television and the Red House. The banner headline this morning is saying, Brown adamant, 30 years after attempted coup, quote, I can't forgive Bakr. Now that story, you can catch the details on page 3 of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Also on page 5, Office of Prime Minister says government trying to get election observers. Remember, this call came from opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar, where she called on the government of the day, more so Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, to ensure that observers are in the country to look at the preparation for general election 2020. That story is on page 5. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, the Prime Minister misleading about observers. Let me just share this paragraph with you. UNC political leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar is alleging the Prime Minister is trying to mislead the population about why Commonwealth election observers will not be coming for the August 10th general election. Dr. Rowley had written to the CARICOM and Commonwealth secretariats inviting each group to send election observers. Now that story you can catch on page 5 and you can get all the details there. No masses at Maraval, Paramin this week due to COVID-19. We will keep you up to speed as to what is happening with that matter. Remember, there still calls are coming from various quarters for Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to open the borders and allow our nationals to enter into that country. We would have debated that matter on this very same program, but we'll continue to look at that. Into some other stories, there's a feature in today's edition of the Newsday about the 1990 attempted coup. You can get the details. It's on page 7. After being discharged from quarantine, Padarat out on campaign trail. Yes, Barry Padarat, the candidate for the United National Congress for the Princestown constituency. Well, he is out of quarantine, and over the weekend he would have been pounding the pavement, whipping up support for his party and by extension himself. That is, as we head up to the general election of 2020. Duke promises a cruise ship complex in Plymouth. Yes, Progressive Democratic Patriots political leader Watson Duke has promised to build a cruise ship complex in Plymouth. Well, as I told you before, be very careful, people. Be very, very cautious as to what comes out of the mouth of politicians. Yeah, be very careful. Promises, promises, and more promises. Auxiliary fire officers say we are treated worse than slaves. Now, that story is on page 11. This is coming from Leo Ramkisoon, president of the Fire Services Association. Now, you can get the details on page 11. And then we get into the editorial. The editorial is talking about 30 years later, Trinidad and Tobago, how do you feel? Well, we'll pose the similar question to you after we are through with alerting you as to what is some of the stories published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. On page 15, PNM San Fernando East candidate Brian Manning said the wage subsidy being proposed by UNC political leader Kamla Persad Bissessar is unworkable, unsustainable, and can jeopardize Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Remember, Brian Manning is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of San Fernando East. Business groups take COVID-19 precautions. Yes, the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association and the American Chamber of Commerce have each instructed their members to take additional precautions after Trinidad and Tobago's first non-imported COVID-19 case was reported last week. So those are but some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. You can go outside there and get your copy this morning. And as we look at what is happening in the world of sports, well, we'll continue to look at this crucial third test match between West Indies and England. West Indies certainly under the gun to save this test match. I'll give you the scores during the course of the morning. But we need to take some commercials at this time. And when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion right here. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, the morning program. Stay with us here.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampersad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Let me tell you something. Nothing was done under the PNM in the last 5 years. I ask this question. Are you satisfied with the crime statistic in the last 5 years? They say they're protecting the borders. That is not true. Guns and illegal people are still coming. Are you satisfied with that? Where's the support for victims of crime? Ask anyone. There is none. Didn't you feel safer under UNC? How many more must die? How many more will feel the pain? Every time PNM is in power, crime goes out of control. On August 10th, I am voting for safety. I am voting UNC. Talk done.
That was a paid political announcement.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
Let's talk Guyana. Join us as we share news and issues coming out of Guyana, Mondays to Fridays at 11 a.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975. Join us on the journey to the polls. Find out about the candidates, the campaigns, the promises, and much more. You can now listen to your daily dose of politics, Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
Yes, we describe ourselves as the election headquarters. You can catch us every morning right here from 6 to 9, both Nicole, Duki and myself, as we keep you abreast as to all of the political developments taking place in the country. And those of you who would have been listening to this program would note that within the last 3 weeks or so, we would have engaged discussion with a number of candidates who will be facing the electorate. Well, we'll continue with the same trend today and into the next coming weeks or so, keeping you abreast, giving you an opportunity to hear what these candidates have to say as they all try to whip up support from you, the electorate, for the 2020 general election. Today, it's a very significant day indeed. Today, it's the anniversary of the attempted coup of 1990, the 27th of July. And yes, we will give you an opportunity to share with us this morning your experiences. Where were you at that fateful day indeed? Share that with us. But let me say a very special good morning to my colleague here this morning, Nicole Duki. A very good morning to you, Nicole.
Good morning to you, Kenrick. Good morning to our listeners on U97.5. Good morning to our viewers on RCL U97.5 as well.
Well, certainly I think the country was set up over the weekend. Because seriously, everybody expected this weather system.
My kids were so paranoid that every time the rain started to fall, they were like looking out through the window to see what will happen, and they were very much paranoid by the whole idea of this tropical storm that was supposed to affect us.
Well, certainly God is looking like a tree. Yes. Anyway, but it's refreshing to know that the the weather system did not have any negative impact on both Trinidad and our
Tobago,
sister isle,
Just
Tobago.
miniature. There was some miniature stuff that was taking place.
I think that people would have been quite cautious indeed. Talking to some people, they would have, prepared for any eventualities.
That's
but
right.
It certainly did not come. Thank God for that. And we are up and about today as we prepare for general election.
You know, they are still monitoring. They are now monitoring another low pressure system in the Atlantic, and from the looks of it, it's headed straight towards Trinidad again.
Well, the thing about it, the Met Office would have advised that we would be in for a very hectic hurricane season.
That's right.
So we are in the path. We're in the hurricane path. So we need to be prepared. Just be prepared, people. Be prepared. Anyway, so what's on our plate here this morning, July 27th, 1990? We want you to share your thoughts with us. Tell us, people, exactly where were you on that given day.
Let's bring back some memories of July 27, 1990.
I can tell you I had now left the office in Port of Spain, and I was on my way down to La Romaine. And I heard that Imam Yassin Abu Bakr, the Jamaat al-Muslimin leader, would have taken over the country. I just brushed it aside until reports started filtering, and in La Romaine I tried to glue on to what was happening on television and what have you. Very frightful period indeed, and at that time Major Ralph Brown would have had quite a challenge on his hand to assure the people of Trinidad and Tobago that everything is under control. No doubt these Muslimin, they would have stormed the Red House and would have attacked the then Prime Minister A.N.R. Robinson. It was a very, very traumatic period in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And most people would have voiced their opinion and said that this must not be allowed to take place in this twin island republic called Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Kenrick, at least you have a lot of memories.
Of course I do.
I was still very young, so there's only so much that I could remember.
Yeah, I know, but even today, people still do reflect on what would have transpired in Port of Spain with the looting, all these looting and stores being destroyed and so on.
I learned a lot about the 1990 inception when I sat down and actually listened to the Commission of Inquiry into 1990, when I listened to the testimonials and you heard, all the different angles from everybody, and they shared their experience. Some of them were very much touching, and so that's why I learned a lot about it from.
I remember people like Jones P. Madera.
Yes, and Wendell Eversley.
I remember these people, trying to maintain some level of calm and sanity into the situation. But as I said, it was a very frightful, traumatic period for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Let me just share this with you and the listening audience, Nicole.
Yes.
I cannot forget, nor can I forgive, retired Major General Ralph Brown, the man who led the military's response to the overthrow of the government 30 years ago by the Jamaat al-Muslimin, says he can never forget the carnage and destruction wrought during the attempted coup, and he can never forgive the Muslims' leader, Imam Yassin Abu Bakr. Remember, there was a headline last week where the Imam would have called on the people of Trinidad and Tobago to forgive him.
Forgive him. He issued an apology.
Yeah, to forgive him. And what is interesting to note that the Jamaat al-Muslimin leader would have used the very constitution to protect him, the very same constitution which he tried to destroy. So it's a period in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. As young people, you must try to get some sort of literature on it, read up on what would have transpired on that period, July 27th, 1990. As I said, people still do reflect in horror as to what would have transpired at that on that given date. Anyway, so we're moving on. Well, I see our boy Nicole. Barry Padarat is back in town. He is campaigning for the UNC. He is the candidate for the United National Congress in the Princestown constituency. And over the weekend, a number of candidates would have been pounding the pavement.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, Irma and I went out onto the field. Despite the weather on Saturday, we said we're going, and we actually went to Arima. We went into the constituency of La Joqueta Talparo as well. We have some very interesting stories which we'll be sharing on our U97.5 social media platforms, videos and stuff like that. Kenrick, is very interesting to see what we would have met when we got into these areas. We spoke to the candidate, the United National Congress candidate for Arima, Miss Flora Singh, and she told us about some of her plans as well for whether when she's elected into office. She told us of some of the concerns. She even took us to the Arima Central Secondary School, and if persons who are actually paying attention to our U97.5 Facebook page, we actually went live spontaneously, wasn't planned, just so that people could see what was actually happening on the ground there. And of course, when we went over to La Joqueta Talparo, we learned a little bit about Project Hope. I don't know if you're familiar with Project Hope. This is
that's a project by Julie John, I think. Yes.
And also we were able to have an interview with a police officer who lives in the Greenvale area, but who has been working very hard to ensure that there's a lot of peace among the Muslim gangs and the Rasta City in the La Joqueta area. And we actually spoke to some of those guys, and so it'd be very interesting for people to hear what they're about and how they view things right now. So like I said, persons could actually look forward to those videos in the coming week on our page, our U97.5 page, and also on our YouTube channel.
What is interesting to note, Nicole, as we head up to the 2020 general election, most of the candidates who we would have interviewed here on this very same program would have echoed similar sentiments. They all talk about infrastructure, lack of a proper pipe-borne water.
Yes, well, water was the major issue. Water has always been an issue in Arima, and it continues to be an issue in Arima.
Out of office and in office, this has been a perennial problem. And I don't know whether it's a political problem per se or one of management on the part of WASA. I've also always maintained that WASA do not produce water. The WASA is responsible for the distribution aspect of water. And in a country of 1.4 million people with natural resources, I find it difficult. I cannot fathom why 75% of the population cannot get a reliable water supply 24/7, and it's a sore point that all the candidates have been talking about. Apart from the roads, bridges, drain, crime, health, education, water, and that has been the cry. So even those members of parliament who continue to be part of the decision-making process, they too complain that people have been lamenting poor infrastructure, poor maintenance and what have you. So that's the consensus has been shared.
You should have seen the condition of that school. That is actually when they relocated the Arima New Government School, and they built a new building for it further down on the Coke Ridge Road. They used that site to build a new wing for the Arima Central Secondary School for Form 5, Form 6 students to have labs and everything. And the building, it wasn't completed, but it's overgrown with bushes. You should have seen Irma. I put her in some bush to walk through. We went through a hole in the fence to get, and you should see the ceiling, Kenrick. It's mashing up because it has been neglected.
And talking about neglect, I'm also making an appeal to the nationals of this country. When politicians come to you to solicit your support and they make promises, hold them to those promises. I listened to Mr. Jack Warner, the independent candidate, or rather the ILP candidate for the constituency of Lupino Bonnet West, making promises about a fire station and what have you. And I say that because there's a facility in Pinal, a fire station, which is about 75 or 80% completed. For some reason or the other, that project has not been completed, and I do not know why. Well, I know why, but I will not offer it here on this program. So be careful of the promises being made to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I can even throw your mind back to 1960, 1965, around there, where the People's National Movement Administration at that time would have promised a highway from San Fernando to Miaro.
Right.
that still has not materialized. So people be very careful. And I still take issue with the government of the day on the eve of a general election turning suds for the start of the construction of project. To me, that is obscene. That is obscene. But anyway, that's part of our political culture.
Yes.
So you the people outside there, when you go out to stain your finger on the 10th of August, know what you're voting for. Know what you're voting for. Promises coming from the mouth of politicians. Anyway, it's just about 12 minutes here to the hour of 7 o'clock. And when we come back, we'll take your calls at 367547, 227-5739. Stay with us here. 975 FM, hot like pepper.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
On the road again with U975 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio. Yes, we're back with our road shows. Be part of the U975 FM bandwagon as we bring you live broadcasts from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and lots of giveaways. Stay with the U975 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio for greater programming as we hit the road again.
I have journeyed.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus, my name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, Jesus is the answer.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
All will be fine. Look, we made the right choice every time. Still a job to be done and a race to be won, and we know we will win every time. Just keep the faith, heads up high. We're together in this, you and I. Yes, the job will be done and the race will be won, and we know we will win every time. And we go vote for the love of we country. We go vote to protect the treasury. Vote is only Dr. Rowley. The right choice for TNT. PNM is the choice. PNM is the voice. PNM only way on election day is the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police. Hey.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM, hot like pepper. Just about 8 minutes here to the hour of 7 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Let me say a very good morning to some wonderful people who I would have met last night, Nicole, in your own jurisdiction.
In my area.
Yeah, in your jurisdiction. We had a number of people from right here at 975 who would have been part of that event.
Kenrick, I really wanted to come.
Yeah, so good morning to all the lovelies who
only the ladies. I'm sure you're going to hear all the ladies this morning.
I didn't say ladies. I said lovelies. Yeah, who would have come up to me and express their support and confidence in 975. Thank you very much for all of the support and for all of the love you would have shown to the 975 FM Hot Like Pepper crew. Good morning to you. I know that you are listening to us this morning, and a very special good morning to you. You know, it's interesting to note, Nicole, that whenever I go to different places, I always try to remain in the background. But for some reason or the other, people have a tendency to know who I am. And they will come to express the support for the program and the music and the personalities here at 975.
That's right.
Very refreshing indeed.
Just recently when I walked out to the Couva market, one of the market vendors was like, "Oh, so I've been looking at your photos on Facebook," and I'm like, "Oh my God."
Anyway, into all seriousness, Barry Padarat is back in town, so to speak. Of course, people have been asking about his whereabouts. Well, there's a photograph published in one of the newspapers here this morning.
Yeah, he was in quarantine.
14 days quarantine. No, but we have some very serious issues in front of us, you know.
Yes.
This COVID-19.
Very
147 cases. I think 11 people are now being treated at the Cora Hospital.
Yes.
There's this sort. When you go about, even yesterday we had this discussion. People have been asking, is it community spread?
Yes.
What's going to happen? Well, I can tell you it's not community spread as of now.
It's local.
Yeah, yes. Investigations are still ongoing. But let's take this call on the line. Hello and a very good morning to you. Good morning and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, sweet Trinidad.
Good morning,
Larry. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Larry. What's happening?
Well, thank God. Everything passed very, very nice on Saturday. We just had some hard wind for about half an hour with a heavy downpour in the Davie area. I was all geared up. I had extra clothes in my vehicle. I had my lab jacket on in case at the time to elapse in the afternoon time if anybody had gotten marooned. I mean, we were ready and prepared to run with it, and we got to understand that over 5,000 sandbags was given out from the PDRC. Even on Friday afternoon, I went and I helped some people in Barapur with a sandbag because they didn't have transport. So, you know, when you pull yourself together with people and you try to help them in the best way you can, you know, you're getting prepared.
All right, but let me ask you a question here this morning, Larry. In your travels in South, as people prepared for this impending storm, can you say whether people would have taken this seriously, that they would have, put necessary measures in place?
Correct. Even on the Davis SS Road, the main road, I saw a number of business people put sandbags at the front of their business places. Yes, so let us put it down that people really did take the heat, they did take warning, they did act in advance, and I compliment them for that because we are so accustomed now in getting flood. We already know what to do now. We're not really depending on any of the authorities to come and say, well, you know what, you go get flood, do this, do that. No, we taking action up front. But, Kenrick, the biggest problem that we face in this country today, besides COVID-19, is the influx of Venezuelans coming into our country illegally.
And I agree with you. And I think that Gary Griffith and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they are a bit too late to take action on this matter. Go ahead.
I saw a number of videos on Facebook over this weekend because even Saturday when I was lying down in bed listening to the lovely rain that has been hitting me galvanized, you know, it was cool and nice. I really drank some hot coffee and enjoyed the little rain. But I saw a number of videos on Facebook speculating of how many fisher boats are coming into the Chaguaramas area.
Yes.
And you know, a certain person who do blogs, I don't want to call his name on the radio, he have identified many things about how Venezuelans are coming here. And then I saw a next video again where the Coast Guard intercepted a fishing boat with about 40 Venezuelans on board. And we are taking all preventative measures by taking the advice from the Ministry of Health to wear a mask, sanitize, and whatever. And many Trinbagonians, and I'm saying it raw as it is, many Trinbagonians in this country, they are helping these Venezuelans to come here. We do not know if they are infected, what sicknesses they have, and they are allowing them to come here and hide. Kenrick, I think, really and truly, the Minister of National Security should have a lockdown. You know why? Too much of Venezuelans in this country. And the question lies now, come December month, is the Minister of National Security going to renew these registrations for these Venezuelans that they give under the amnesty? I know the 6 months start and they renew it again, but coming up again in December, it is started for renewal.
Well, you have been calling this program on a for a long while now, Larry, and you will agree that I have been calling on the authorities to prosecute and persecute those people who are harboring or who are giving some level of comfort to illegal immigrants in this country.
Well,
I have been saying that for the longest while.
I would say do not even give them bail. Do not even give them bail for 200 days. You know why? They are encouraging things in this country, Kenrick. They are encouraging negative things. And you asked that question a while ago, 30 years ago, what you were doing on the day of the coup. Kenrick, you will laugh at this one. I was in a place called Gulf City High RPM, drinking a pitcher of my favorite lager. And when, listen, and when the call was made by the bouncer, Kenrick, I had a denim jacket. I had on a denim jacket. And I walked out high RPM because it was chaos. Everybody started to scramble to jump to the vehicle to get out, to get home. I walked out high RPM with a picture of beer because I didn't want to throw in my beer. And I walked from Gulf City Car Park, Kenrick, to Golconda, that's where I born and grew up, to reach home. And I reached home about 9 o'clock in the night. And next morning, when all this was said and done, I saw a taxi driver, a paid taxi driver in my area, get licked from a police officer for breaking the rules of, stay home. Because it was a coup and they made the announcement. I saw him from my gallery where a guy came out to work PH and the police stopped him and he get a sweet cocktail. I can remember these things. And I could also remember, Kenrick, when the government gave rights to go to groceries, no more than 3 people were gathered together to discuss anything. Just get your groceries and go back home. So yes, it brings back some memories, it brings back some hurtful memories. But at the end of the day, thank God, we are not in that state anymore. And I hope that these things do not really happen anymore. And I want to just tell people this much. Even though weather pattern is changing in our country, I want to tell all the first responders who are willing to help, who are willing to come out and tell people who are getting marooned, all you please have a life jacket with all you. Please ensure that you have a life jacket. Most important thing. Have a good morning, Kenny.
All right, well, thank you very much, Larry, for your contribution here with me this morning. Let's take another caller before we go up to the 7 o'clock newscast. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Quickly, good morning.
Hey, Ken, morning.
Good morning, Brian. What's happening?
Hi there, boy.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
I saw you were in my area yesterday.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
Yes, well, since I can say quickly, I would first like to commend all of our local government councillors and our candidates on Saturday. We were called upon to ensure that all areas were well taken care of, that all systems were put in place in case that this tropical storm had come to hit us. The political leader on
all right.
that day.
Brian, my apologies, but you'll have to call me back. I need to go up to the 7 o'clock news at this time. All right? My apologies to you, my friend. Anyway, stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. We'll take the 7 o'clock newscast with Nicole Dookie. And when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning. Government is still trying to secure at least one election observation mission for the upcoming general election. This is according to a release from the Office of the Prime Minister on Sunday. It stated that government continued its effort to ensure the presence of election observers in Trinidad and Tobago prior to and during the general election scheduled for August 10, 2020. OPM pointed out that the Prime Minister extended invitations on July 9th to CARICOM and the Commonwealth to consider sending election observation missions to Trinidad and Tobago for the general election. This request came 1 day after political leader of the United National Congress, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, wrote to Dr. Rowley asking for him to put mechanisms in place to bring in international observers. In a statement on Friday, Persad-Bissessar expressed her concerns that weeks after her call for international election observers, none had arrived in Trinidad and Tobago. She called on Dr. Rowley to act immediately to put the necessary arrangements in place and update the nation on the matter. OPM in the statement said that both CARICOM and the Commonwealth have advised of their inability to meet the cost associated with a 14-day quarantine period required for entry into Trinidad and Tobago, which is an integral part of the country's management of the COVID-19 pandemic. President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Paula May Weeks, has slammed Jamaat al-Muslimin leader Yassin Abu Bakr in her recent message to the nation. The president's message comes in commemoration of the 1990 attempted coup. Today marks 30 years since the Jamaat al-Muslimin attempted to overthrow the government. In a recent affidavit, Bakr apologized for the pain he caused to the nation, saying it's time for closure. However, in her message, Her Excellency said some thought that his words amounted to an apology and were welcome, though it was a belated step towards reconciliation. She added that Bakr later strongly denied that he had ever apologized to the nation for 1990. While the country may have never gotten an unequivocal apology from Mr. Bakr, Weeks said, citizens must be drivers of the effecting our own reconciliation. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Antonia De Freitas, said no examination is worth a child's life. This comes after a child was tested positive for COVID-19 last week. The child was attending classes in preparation for SE examinations. Ms. De Freitas made the statements in an interview with members of the media over the weekend. One of her concerns outlined in the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Health is schools having an isolation room.
That is with the presumption that the school plant has the facility to isolate, that there is the presumption that someone from the Ministry of Health would arrive on the compound in a timely manner.
She said tutor wrote to the Ministry of Health to seek advice but never got a response.
Well, at this point in time, tutor stands to be guided by the Ministry of Health's pronouncements. Good? And this is why we are saying that there must be proper consultation. Continue to advise our members to take care of themselves and use the precautions. And if necessary, we will then have a discussion with our members on what course of action we will follow.
In some news coming out of Tobago now, one man is dead and another was injured while liming in Crown Point, Tobago on Sunday night. The dead man has been identified as Karen Michael Silly of Milford Court, Port Accord. According to reports, there was a shooting incident along the popular Lyman strip known as Bago Avenue after an altercation around 10 p.m. Videos circulating show two people lying on the roadway. The videos show one man motionless while the other injured man is propped against a car. The Tobago Heritage Festival is being done virtually this year. This is as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. The launch kicked off on Friday on Facebook and television. The festival is known as one of the island's signature events. It is usually held during the 2-week period in the lead-up to Emancipation Day. During the launch, Assistant Secretary Shomini Hector said no pandemic is forever. He expressed hope that brighter days will be ahead.
Come when we will be able to get over this hurdle of restriction and be found in common places of social gathering again in our mass numbers, where we will in person enjoy the offerings of our culture and our festivals. I anticipate in 2021 and beyond that we will have an opportunity to parade the streets of Moriah.
You are listening to the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time now to take a look at regional and international developments. We start with news from the region. The process by which an airline applies for and is granted regulatory approval through the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority will be expedited for at least 3 of the 6 carriers that are seeking to expand their networks with the recent demise of regional carrier Liat. ECCA's Director General Donald MacPhail gave that assurance while participating in a regional webinar hosted by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. He acknowledged that the process to grant an air operations certification from establishment to certification could take up to 6 months for operators registered with ECCA, a process by which many have complained about. In the case of Inter-Caribbean Airways and Caribbean Airlines, he explained the process will be shortened significantly. These are established airlines which already hold an air operator certificate issued by the state of registry. Internationally, Spain is fighting to save its embattled tourism industry after the United Kingdom government imposed a 14-day quarantine on all arrivals from the country. Government officials insist the virus is under control and want certain areas to be exempt from the UK self-isolation order. About 18 million Britons travelled to Spain in 2019, about a quarter of all arrivals in the country. But Junior Health Minister Helen Whately has defended the quarantine. Ms. Whately said that after all the sacrifices made during the lockdown, the UK could not take the risk of going back to a situation of rising virus rates across the country. Spain's rate of infection has jumped in recent days. In news of the weather for the period today until midnight, Trinidad, Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles will experience partly cloudy conditions with occasional light to moderate showers. There is a medium chance of heavy morning, early afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Improvement is expected by late afternoon to give a settled evening and night. Gusty winds and street flooding may be expected in the event of heavy thunderstorms. Seas are moderate with waves 1.5 meters up to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. And this brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. newscast on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for another newscast at 8 a.m. I am Nicole Dookie. Good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Kathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
You 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
Let's talk Guyana. Join us as we share news and issues coming out of Guyana, Mondays to Fridays at 11 a.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
Yes, so 15 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South, Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad. Well, Nicole, we have some callers on the line.
Yes.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jagana, and good morning to your co-host.
Good morning.
I
can't get her name at all, but eventually I'll get it.
Hold on. You could bring her up to speed as to that score, boy. West Indies coming up against England at that test.
Oh, gosh, by pressure.
Yeah, pressure. Water more than flour, boy.
You know, what I called this morning, Kendrick, you see the story the Prime Minister trying to pass by my nose, I can't handle that here.
What story is that?
The body observers.
Okay.
Now, look what happened in Guyana. Is the observers have that situation alive in Guyana? Now, that people in Guyana deliberately intended they're not living with the results of the election. So it was saying, when a neighbor house on fire, you at yours. Because democracy, the thing called democracy, is something worth preserving.
Yeah, but
hold on. People have the right to vote.
No, but historically, Trinidad and Tobago, we always had a what you call free and fair election. Unless, of course, you're giving me a different argument.
Well, with the advent of technology and computer, people find unique ways now to manipulate the system here. Now, I face about 10 elections, and I see how people could go about and example, I went that time to vote, and a person was one who is especially armed people, the armed forces, they allowed him to vote, and that was wrong. He was a special voter. He had a special day for voting, and how come they allowed him to vote the election day? And the presiding officer went ahead and do it to everybody in present, but nothing come out of it. That I say, what the Prime Minister peddling, it had a right to have the observers here. Just a legitimized way of that. That's all you want is fair play, Kenrick. That's all that demands and fair play. If by now somebody mind and make up, well, the mind will never meet up. As I tell you, I don't encourage nobody to vote for who. I tell you, go out and take part in the system. Thousands and thousands of people in the world die for our right to cast a ballot. So I will, once I am alive, I will be going and exercise my duty. Right? So as I said, the Prime Minister to come again because they need to bring these observers in the country. Just to legitimize what we do, bring it because we have fellows like Sanderson and Bruce Golden, and these fellows prove that we can't push them around.
All right, my friend. Well, I hear you. Well, just let me keep you, the listening audience, up to speed as to what our caller there was talking about. This is concerning a story as published in today's in one of the newspaper here this morning. But let me take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
So, I'm afraid to even watch that cricket, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I know, whatever. But anyway.
No, you see, when I told people, they started singing the praises of the West Indies and so on, and rightly so too, because they would have won the first test. Just to digress our conversation, but one must take into consideration also too that England would have gone into that first test minus Joe Root, minus Stuart Broad, and who else they would have gone into that game without some of the influential players. Anyway, go ahead.
But in addition to that, you have seen what you call true form of swing fast bowling, and England is the land of swing. So it really shows that the English fast bowlers have been coming to light. I just wish that we could have really, if we could pull off the draw, well, all right.
All right,
but
okay.
Nonetheless, like I was saying before, that kudos must be given to our councillors and our candidates. As on Saturday, we were all put into dealing with the emergency mode under the directions of the political leader. Thankfully, there were no major incidences or any major cause to get into full effect. But what we did is that we ensured it was a proper rehearsal in case if it happens again. I understand there's another one coming. So we will be fully in effect again. So congrats to them and all the best.
All right, right. All right, thank you very much, Brian, for bringing us up to speed on that matter.
While Kenrick, I'm looking at an article in the newspaper here, a NACTA poll, election outcome, a close fight.
Well, one of my callers last week put it at 21-19-1. So, and there's a feature published in one of the newspaper here this morning, where it is saying that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is ahead of Kamla Persad-Bissessar as they look at what the question begs to be asked: who do you think would make the best Prime Minister?
Yes.
Keith Rowley or Kamla Persad-Bissessar or some other person? Well, just in case it escapes you people, 39% of those targeted would have said Dr. Keith Rowley. 34, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. 11% would have voted for other person. So Dr. Keith Rowley is ahead in terms of a percentage, 39%. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, 34%. But the question begs to be asked, Nicole, as to who are the respondents and so on, how they come to this conclusion. Look, at the end of the day, it's on polling day that will make the decision. You know.
That's right.
Some pollsters have a tendency to read it wrong. As I said, one of my callers would have said 21-19-1. I don't know. I can't say, but I can tell you it's the marginal seats that will make the difference. The marginal seats will make the difference. And on another note here, Dr. Winford James and Dr. Hamid Ghani, two political analysts and who have been in the know for the longest while. Well, political analyst Dr. Winford James believes voting based along racial lines boils down to several basic factors. The major one being that people trust politicians who are the same race as theirs. Well, I would have said that last week.
Yes, definitely.
I am no analyst, but I would have said that last week. That in the main, in this country, you have what is called Apanjat. You know what is that, Nicole?
No, I don't.
Apanjat means vote according to racial lines. So race has always been an integral part in Trinidad and Tobago elections. All right, so we're looking at elections here. We're looking at what is happening on the ground. We would have spoken to a number of candidates who would have indicated that should they get into office again, or for the first time, they will look at ensuring that a greater service is coming to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
But Kenrick, before coming into studio, I was listening to an interview being done on one of the morning shows on national television, and they were actually talking about elections, and they were saying that Lopino Bonnet West is a constituency that you're going to have to pay close attention to, because what they were saying is that being the fact that Jack Warner is contesting the election there, that he may cause a split in the votes in that constituency. And that is something we have to be mindful of, because I've been paying attention to a lot of the social media that these candidates are putting out, and I see that he has been gaining a lot of attention, and he has a lot of young people behind him as well.
Well, the question begs to be asked, where was Jack Warner all this while? Why now? He only came.
He was focused on publishing.
He only came into the limelight within the last week or so. And remember, I spoke to Prakash Williams, who is the UNC candidate for that constituency.
West,
I spoke to him, I think it was on Thursday or Friday.
Yes.
And he said that the Jack Warner factor will have no sort of impact on his campaign. But maybe he may be able to sway some voters. He may be able to create some sort of, let's say, problems, make some headway within the constituency or so. But whether he can gather that enough vote to cause, let's say, the People's National Movement, or by extension the UNC, to run away with the election is another question altogether. We just have to wait and see.
Everything is, you have to wait to see.
But I know that these candidates have been pounding the pavement, especially on the East West Corridor, whipping up support. Well, we would have been trying to get in touch with one Clifford Rambarose, yes?
So he unfortunately would not be able to make it today. However, we will have him rescheduled for a later date.
All right. Just in case people are wondering who Clifford Rambarose is.
He is the People's National Movement candidate for Oropouche East.
That's he coming up against
the
heavyweight. He coming up against the heavyweight. In Dr. Arudal Moonlal, a constituency predominantly held by the United National Congress. And also to been trying since last week to get in touch with one what's his name again? Dave Tanko.
Yes. We've been trying to get on to Dave for quite some
Dave
time.
Dave Tanko is the candidate, the UNC candidate for the constituency of Oropouche West. And I think that he did indicate some interest in sharing his thoughts with us. But we try to get him, if not today, or probably tomorrow.
Kenrick, but on a lighter note, what I wanted to mention, it would have been last month or so, we would have seen some real intense action taking place in East Port of Spain with the riots and stuff. But yesterday there was a walk for peace that took place in the Mova area, and it was very successful. So I must, I just wanted to give kudos to the organizers of the event, because I was not there, but I've been viewing everything, and I was looking and to see the community come together, not only to riot but for peace, and I must commend the organizers of that event.
Indeed, it's refreshing to hear these kind of news, Nicole.
Yes.
So we're looking at this matter where Gary Griffith, the Commissioner of Police, is saying, well, look, rapid response. That's the headline in one of the newspapers here this morning. Looking at this matter of illegal immigrants entering into Trinidad and Tobago. But I ask the question, why now? Is it because of the COVID-19 and there are views being expressed that maybe these illegal immigrants could be, be responsible for this COVID-19, this new case? Is that it? Let's take this call on the line.
The Minister of National Security would have warned that charges would be laid on persons found guilty, of harboring these people for human trafficking.
Let me respond, but I'll take this call first. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning again, Kenrick.
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning.
Kenrick, I believe that these Venezuelans are coming here to be caught. Because in Venezuela, when you look at what's happening, they don't have medication to deal with anybody who's sick down. They're saying that cost of living is way sky high. The unrest of what is taking place in Venezuela, who is president, who is not. And I believe that these Venezuelans coming here, they want to be caught. They want to get a place to be bored, like for housing, like a detention center, they will get food, they will get clothes. At the end of the day, the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago have to fund that bill. The other question is how many people are here right now?
But just to respond and to share information with the public, we all about sharing information. Is that when these immigrants, illegal immigrants, are caught, so to speak, of course, they are transported, I think, to somewhere down in Chagaramas, where they are quarantined for 14 days and then sent back to the country.
Send back, Kenrick? Are we sure about that?
Well,
are we really positively sure on that?
Well, in this country, you cannot put your head on the block for anything, But that is what is being stated. I cannot say for sure.
But then again, we have a detention center here in Arima area, Waterfield area. How many people are there, and what it is the cost per day, per week, per month? It is costing the taxpayers. You see, if the Coast Guard and them meeting these vessels outside in the waters there. Don't even take them in, send them back.
No, but
allow them to drive off and go.
No, but the bigger challenge here, Larry, is look. There was a report circulating last week where 30 police officers are now in investigation. This as a result of human trafficking.
Yes.
The question begs to be asked: why the authorities of the day are not, let's say, putting their foot on the accelerator to prosecute and persecute these people found guilty of human trafficking? You see, because the report is stating that this matter is being facilitated by senior police officers and members of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. They turn a blind eye.
Yeah, but then at the end of it, it's we the taxpayers, we the normal citizens who are law-abiding going to feel the brunt of it. Because when you talk about COVID-19, look at what's going on right now. When these Coast Guards and them bring these people in, they say they're going to quarantine them. Okay, they have to be tested. And according to Terran, they are saying we don't have much test kit, right? Those test kits is to be done for people like us in this country who showing signs or symptoms of the thing. When we run out of test kits and we run out of space, Kenrick, what's going to happen?
Well,
what's going to happen?
Maybe you should ask the opposition leader that question.
What is really going to happen, Kenrick?
Because
I mean, I made a suggestion that the money that the government is collecting from organization abroad send to the genuine people who went on holiday and get trapped up there and find to see about them until the borders are. But I don't think this borders, Kenrick, between me and you, and I'm saying this, our borders will not be open until sometime next year. At what the rate is going on in the state, because the state say they keep getting back cases because of people with Black Lives Movement protests, graduation, family reunion, all of these things cause America to get back a third wave, not a second wave. And if this, what you are saying there, compared to what happened over the last week, where some people, a whole family had was to be quarantined and a bank worker and a child or whatever, this could be our first wave, Kenrick.
All right, well, I hear. No, it's something to be very concerned about. And I understand the sentiments. I understand the cries and the woes of people outside there. You know, here it is, you have our borders are locked down. Well, of course, the official borders, that is. But you have people coming through the southwestern peninsula being facilitated by nationals of this country. And these very same nationals complain about crime, the wave of criminality plaguing Trinidad and Tobago. But they give it the necessary oxygen. They harbor these people. They provide them with housing. They provide them with jobs. So when we complain, we have to look inwardly at ourselves. We are contributing towards the problem. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. And I agree with that last statement you made. A lot of businessmen are taking advantage of the fact that they could hire these Venezuelans and pay them $150 a day, $100 a day to do a laborer's man work, where they would be paying $250, $300 for. And they're getting housing for them. Some of them sleeping on the property as security. That happening in my village. I can take a picture and send you on WhatsApp if I had your personal number. But what I would like to see happen, if Joe Biden win the presidency, I would like to see him lift some of the sanctions on Venezuela. Because what Venezuela is going through is because of the sanctions that America put on it and the increasing sanctions from Donald Trump. And I'm trying to understand something. People dying because America want to have their way in their country. You know? The oil money that they're withholding from them is their money. It's their U.S. money that they're withholding. So that's why they're in that situation. But we're in a pandemic. We already showed that we
but how can hold on. How can you make a statement like that when Venezuela is viewed as one of the richest countries in the world in terms of oil deposits?
Right, but do you know that there's $12 billion or maybe more being withheld from them?
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that. But what I can tell you is poor management, and because you have all these socio-political problems in Venezuela, right? The thing about it is here you have, and we're looking at our own situation here. You have a number of Venezuelans trying to enter into this country because of what is going on there. This country is not like a European country where we can take 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 illegal immigrants, you know, and give them the necessary documentation, you know.
Right. We don't have housing for them. We don't have no way to put them. Right? I agree with that. And I think that they had the opportunity. Now, if you're entering into the country illegal, they need to intercept them, catch them, and send them back. I am not for them coming in a pandemic or coming in illegally, but other people is doing it in different countries. But the way we have to handle it is we have to intercept them and we have to take them in. That is just how the international laws are. You know, you can't make them turn around when they come within your borders and they don't have fuel to go back.
All right. Well, I hear you. You're taking the conversation into a different direction, but I want to stick it with what is happening in front of us. The fact that we have COVID-19 in this country, there are 2 cases which are being investigated to get what you call contact tracing. There's a view being expressed that the fact that we have so many illegal entry into our country, there's this fear among the population that we could be in a situation which we may not be able to control. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to you, my friend. Good morning.
You see your last caller there?
Mm-hmm.
He hit the nail right on the head. It is called by sanctions.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, I'd say this. I go to the United States pretty often. And every winter, you hear about Citgo. They have an advertisement on the TV in America for people who cannot afford to buy heat and oil. You call their number, they have a number, and they will deliver that heat and oil for poor people for nothing.
But hold on. You're looking at what you call showing compassion, showing a human face to what is happening to Venezuelans. You must take into consideration to my friend, and to you the callers and listening audience outside there, that this country would have documented over 16,000 Venezuelans. So we would have offered a helping hand. We cannot do much more than that. That is why I'm saying these people who are coming in now, quarantine them and send them back home. We cannot handle anymore in this country. Our system is overwhelmed already.
Now you see, that is one avenue we could take.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to have some compassion too.
Hold on. So we have not shown compassion. That's what you're saying?
Well, everybody's saying send them back, catch them in the ocean and the Gulf and send them back.
So what are you suggesting, that we take them into the country, put them into the system?
We had to find a way to help these
people. We don't have to find a way. We would have found a way. We would have found a way to provide some sort of relief to 16,000 Venezuelans. What is wrong with you?
All right, listen. I heard on the radio one time this year with the sanctions that America has put.
Hold on. I am not responsible for sanctions in America or in Venezuela. What I am talking about is what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, we're in Trinidad and Tobago ducking from sanctions too.
Partner, sometimes I really try to understand all the fellas' logic, you know. You are making a point for all these non-nationals, or rather, all of these immigrants who come into the country. We should find room for them. We should harbor them, find room for them. Take into consideration, my friend, this is a small island, 1.3 million people. We would have given comfort to over 16,000 Venezuelans, and some people saying that's not the figure. Where are we going to put them? Do we have enough schools for them? Do we have jobs for them? Where are we going to put them? So as they come in by the hundreds, you put them into the system, let them filter into the system. That is what you're suggesting? And you're talking about the sanctions the U.S. would have put on Venezuela. That's not my problem. My problem is Trinidad and Tobago. What is in best interest of Trinidad and Tobago? Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kenrick.
Good morning.
You're very objective thinking host. These people don't understand what
Well, this is what I'm saying. You see, everybody talking about compassion and showing a human face. We would have done that. The government of the day would have done that. And we are reaping the whirlwind of such.
What they need to do is put this in a situation like this. Like they have a house. How many people could you take in of compassion? There must be a limit. Mm-hmm. You're quite right. The people who bring in these people and then cutting them away, they're doing that for financial reasons, you know, so they could hire them out cheaply and so on, make money off of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. And finally, this is the caller from last week to the 21-19-1.
21-19-1, yes.
You see, you had a time to think about it. You see what I'm talking about? It's shaping up like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, as I told you, that point of view thing it's going to swing PNM, but PNM...
No, but why would you say point of view would swing to PNM?
The factor that I mentioned to you last week.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, and David Abdullah in the race.
Mm-hmm.
David Abdullah is going to pull UNC votes. He's not going to pull PNM votes. And that's for sure. Maruga Tableland, PNM is going to lose that as well.
Well, the same thing we can say about, if you put in that argument, the same thing can be offered for the Lupino Bonner West with the Jack Warner factor.
No, forget one. One just going to make a little back and stop a little injury. He doesn't have that kind of traction to pull that amount of votes. No. Forget and as I mentioned to you, a very powerful candidate, Jillian John. Very powerful, very impressive. David Nacker is pushing hard but...
No, but the same argument you're putting forward for the constituency of Point of View, talking about the David Abdullah factor, is the same argument I'm putting forward to you in the Lupino Bonner West constituency. Jack Warner may be able to pull some votes from the United National Congress, thereby allowing the People's National Movement to run away with the seat.
No, that was all the PNM seat, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a state PNC always considered, so just want to jump. That's why I want to jump in the race.
Mm-hmm.
Want to give PNC some pressure.
All right, so you still maintain 2021, 19-1, yes?
Yeah, Tobago is going to go to the man.
All right, well. All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. You know, you see, when people, they must understand this, we are not a European country, you know. We're not like England, Spain, France, or what have you, you know, that we can take an influx of illegal immigrants into this country and put them into the system. 1.3 million people. Our landmass cannot accommodate such. We would have extended ourselves 16,000 and more. We would have given some level of comfort. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Kenrick, morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
About this Venezuelan issue, we Trinidad and Tobago have a good relationship with Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Why they don't tell them, look here, we're having a problem with your borders. People leaving your country and coming across here. All right? We need to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're leaving Venezuela and they're coming across here, you know. And if they're leaving Venezuela and coming across here, they're coming illegal from Venezuela. So they could stop them from coming from Venezuela into Trinidad.
Facilitated by whom?
Well, I don't know. I don't know who it, but you can't look at that part of it. You have to look at the part where everybody had to secure the border. Venezuela not securing the border properly because people are leaving Venezuela.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I hear you. Now, look, the government of the day, and by extension, the Ministry of National Security, can introduce whatever security measures, resources and what have you. But if you have unscrupulous members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and members of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard continues to turn a blind eye, well, then we will not be able to solve the problem, you know. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning again, Kenrick.
Hi, good morning, my friend.
The topic of these Venezuelans, right?
Yeah.
Now, in the health institutions in Trinidad and Tobago, it's for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a foreigner, you could give you emergency room treatment, but you have to pay. But the alarming thing is the amount of Venezuelan women coming and making babies in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
Where I live down the Escurry here, when you start about Water Road, you wonder what really going on in this place. Because most of the big belly people I see walking up around the place.
Well, maybe...
And they go right mount of them, make them child here.
Well, maybe the Ministry of the Attorney General or Legal Affairs could now look at this matter, stating that if as a mother you are undocumented, well, then your child is undocumented also too.
Well, obviously, but you see, the thing is, this thing coming with government blessing here. The government encourages them.
Well, maybe they should look at what is happening in the United States with Donald Trump as it relates to this very same matter.
Because I tell you, these people come here, I say they come to survive, but it's organized. Now, in my area, they're renting a room by the day. You know, when they rent for a month. You rent a room per day. Now, these people come here, they're working in bar, they're working construction site. Also, they're getting intimate too, Trinidad husband, Trinidad wife, all kind of thing. And they're just fitting in the society, which in time to come will be a big problem for we and now. So the authorities need to get this in order, and you're welcome to stay 3 months. That's the law. You can stay 3 months, but after 3 months you could go and you could come back.
All right, my friend.
So you got to enforce that.
My friend, economics teaches you that there's something called supply and demand.
Yeah.
If there's a demand, there's a natural supply, yes?
Yeah.
Right. If you understand my drift.
Yeah, I know the drift.
If you understand my drift. Yeah. But the question, the point I'm making to you and the listening audience here this morning, the government of the day can introduce, let's say, 2,000 police officers, increase Coast Guard officers into the southwest peninsula. But if you have people who are encouraging this and these officers are turning a blind eye, you cannot solve the problem.
You say correct, organize.
Yeah.
Now your friend, one of your friends, Mr. OPV, you call it just saw you because OPV blaming Kamala for these videos coming. Remember we could call her OPV? Who was a cry for the OPV? Give me the OPV.
Like Eric.
Yeah. But Kenrick is concerned because I see how people infiltrate the country, and I know at the end of the day, that's nothing good. That will be a problem when we down the road. So I hope the authorities could get together, the chief immigration officer and all these fellas,
already
and all they do all they work for once in their life.
Already there is a problem because there's this fear by a section of the population that these people who are entering into the country illegally could be or may be carrying the virus.
Well, I don't want to think that way, but this wrongs, with Corona wrong, you have to study every angle now here. Because there are over 50,000 cases in Venezuela right now here. And Venezuela very close to Brazil. So it is no plain matter. I just say the curve straightening up now.
All right. And now that you talk about that, if you have, let's say, 2 or 3 Venezuelans who would have, let's say, or who may bring the virus into this country, do you know what it costs the state, my friend, in terms of contact tracing? What? Do you know how challenged the state is now to trace these 2 people, case number 139 and 141?
Because over the last week, they find a case in my area, and the police went in panic mode.
Well, this is the point I've been trying to make, and then you have one of my callers saying, "No, bring them in, put them into the system."
No.
Facilitate them.
Laws. You want to come to Trinidad, you can visit Trinidad for 3 months. After 3 months, go where you come from. We ain't stopping here, but you can't come through the border.
All right, well, I hear you, my friend. I hear you, and thank you very much. Yeah, and I'm saying that the authorities, in this respect, Gary Griffith and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they are a bit too late. For years now, I've been saying this. I've been saying to prosecute all those businessmen and all those people who are harboring illegal immigrants. Prosecute them. Go into any business place in San Fernando. Ask for document. If they do not have any, put them into a vehicle, take them to the quarantine center, and send them back home. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning again, Kenrick.
Good morning, Larry.
Kenrick, the Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, did say in his press conference, if they are repatriating citizens to come to this country, they cannot force a citizen to pay, right? Now, when you have these Venezuelans coming here illegally, and you just rightfully said that they are going to be quarantined for 14 days, and then they will be sent back to Venezuela. Is it that he is balancing the scale that, if a citizen come back here and they cannot force them to pay for quarantine, then by rightfully you will give the Venezuelans and the state resources by testing them and having them...
No. You get into a conspiracy theory there which really does not have any basis for an argument.
Kenrick, he said that the citizens of this country who are trying to be repatriated to come back, they cannot force anybody to pay for the quarantine. But then you are saying that after 14 days, when the quarantine is Venezuelan, they will be sent back. We as citizens want the proof. We want the proof to be shown that, okay, we catch 50 of them, you quarantine them for 14 days, they send back the 50. Because the gentleman, one of the 2x4 club, I want him to remember how much money it was spent from taxpayers to document these 16,000 Venezuelans. Right? I want you to remember how much money that cost.
And I wonder if this very same gentleman would have been down at Union Hall.
Yeah.
When you and I were there, where you had thousands and thousands of Venezuelans trying to be documented.
And on top of that, Kenrick,
the pressure it would have put on the state.
That's right. And Kenrick, I can remember I was there the night when we had the little, I wouldn't say protest, when we had the peaceful protest. Let's put it like that, the peaceful protest from the Oval to the Hyatt, where the Hyatt was Parliament at the time, right? That night with the group of people. And I can tell you this much, Kenrick. When we walked through by the Oval,
there was a couple trucks parked up with only pizza. And I asked for a pizza. They said, no, you're not a Venezuelan. So think about it. And you're rightfully saying it. There are many business people in this country, Kenrick, who is harboring these people to give them next to nothing for their labor. And you are rightfully saying it. Let the officers of them go now in business places and ask for documentation and walk with a big truck and pick them up, because it is overbearing now, Kenrick. We're going to get ourselves in a heaping such a mess, and we go can't cure it. No way. Send them back. Have a good morning.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning, folks. We need to take a commercial break at this time, but I have some callers still coming through. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
The Honorable Good Morning, the Honorable Kenrick and his host.
Nicole,
good morning, Honorable Lady.
Yeah, she just stepped out of the studio here. Go ahead.
Two issues I want to raise. One with the Minister of National Security. He's made a clarion call for people to tell them where the illegal immigrants are coming. But I want the Minister of Security to go and meet Mr. Shankar Tilak Singh. Shankar Tilak Singh was brain for the last 6 months about the Southern Peninsula where they are coming in, and nobody was paying him any attention. So what the Minister of National Security expect? You're getting people to tell you where they are, and you are not doing anything. You are letting it basically grow bigger and bigger, and you're festering it. You open the border for what they call her, Miss the Honorable Delcy, the Vice President of things. So you can't come and tell me at this late stage because you suspect something is happening with the COVID. No, Mr. National Security, you can't come with that one for us.
Yeah, and that's true, and thank you very much for reminding me of that point. This is the only reason why he's putting his foot on the accelerator to look at this matter, Right. Because there's this fear of COVID-19 getting into the country by Venezuelans. It's only because of that.
Right. No, my thing is, if that was that honorable gentleman, I call him the honorable gentleman, Honorable Smallpit, he should have taken up the phone and say, Mr. Tilak Singh, come. Your mouth has been loud. You have been using the biggest horn. Come, tell me where these people are coming in, so we could start doing it in a way. Because citizens will tell them where they're coming in, because citizens are in a panic mode now, So he could solicit, if he was genuine, he could solicit very, very good intelligence from citizens.
No.
So the other day I see a video with boats coming in the droves.
No, but sometimes, let me digress the conversation. Sometimes God move in a very mysterious way. I'll tell you why. These very same people down in the the Southwest Peninsula who are expressing fear now, they are the very same people who harboring these people.
Yeah.
And because of the fear now of COVID-19, they're panicking.
I am on board with you with that. But at the end of the day, the Minister of National Security is the man in charge of locking down. If somebody telling you, one citizen, one councillor, he have a group of people telling you it's having it down there, another half harboring them, he don't have a police force down there for him to go and lock him up. But he could pass on the information, he put it on national media.
No, hold on. I am not advocating any witch hunt here,
I'm not saying that at all.
I am not advocating that. What I am saying is that the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the government of Trinidad and Tobago would have extended a helping hand to Venezuela. We would have offered comfort to over 16,000 Venezuelans in this country.
16 plus.
Right. I'm just using that figure. 16,000. Now you have more and more Venezuelans entering in Trinidad and Tobago in this COVID environment. How are we going to deal with it?
They cannot be, they say the horse bold is stable. That is exactly what happened. I want to switch gear if you permit me.
No, sure, quickly.
Shogunas East, there's a Minister of Agriculture walking around and campaigning.
Clarence Rambarat.
Right. I hear he giving out seeds, right? Doing his walkabout. Now, the other thing I'm hearing down in Moruga, another candidate, saying, start up a marijuana business, plant your marijuana, make sure you get licensing. Like they discuss something in Parliament House. I want to know if Clarence Rambarat giving out that sort of seed too, because I want to get 4. You understand? Because it's legal for everybody in the country to get 4 seeds.
I go on.
Okay, my friend. Right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Folks, I need to take a commercial break at this time, but I have all of these callers coming through here this morning. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning to you, Mr. Jagannath.
Mr. Bangvillage.
Good morning to the lady next to you there. I want to say that today is the 27th of July. It reminds me of my days when I didn't see my home for 7 days. You understand? And I say today, it's not an anniversary. It's a disaster. That up to now, that the people in this country is still suffering.
Mr. Bangvillage, apparently like you know, get off your bed, boy.
Well, I'm now tuning in your station, my brother.
Yeah, well, we would have dealt with this already in the first hour.
All right, let us go on. They could do what they want in Chaguanas East. The people will remember Carrying Limited. The people will remember that Rambarat didn't do nothing in 4 years and 8 months. So they wouldn't take him seriously. And the other one who's promising people...
Well, hold on. Let me challenge you. You're talking here where the people will not forget Clarence Rambarat because of his role at one time at Caroni 1975 Limited, yes?
Yes.
That's what we're talking about? Well,
yes.
the people will not forget Kamla Pusad Bisesa and the People's Partnership, especially those people who came from cane farming communities. For not being... Yeah, no, well, it's the hypocrisy that I don't like with you.
Well, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Now, Kamla Prasad Bisesa didn't close down Carrying Limited. But when Carrying Limited closed down, she delivered much more. So I think the people will have pity on she, my friend.
All right, that's your view. You see the hypocrisy? That is the hypocrisy that I talk to you about. It's only because I remind you of that. Because getting into office, the People's Partnership would have promised that they would have addressed all of the issues affecting ex-Caroni workers. But you're saying that they will not forget that. But in Chaguanas East, they will remember that, right? That's what you say. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenny. Good morning, Nico.
And good morning, Chris.
Well, I don't know the southwestern peninsula. People coming through like crazy up in Shagama.
It's like crab, coming through holes and things,
Yeah, Shagama southwesterners come from that place so we can dock in a papel and spot and passengers coming out.
And one must take into consideration too, Chris, it's only 7 miles,
Yeah.
Yeah, they could take a fig leaf and get into Trinidad,
Yeah, and I hear in Diego Martin and Marva, and they have 5 and 6 people in one room. Now we should crack down that. Don't be paying people so much minimum wage that they have to prostitute and they have to tell them how to sleep in one room.
No, but Chris, my point is, the people who rent in those rooms, they should be prosecuted.
This is the point I'm making. These people who rent rooms so go 5 and 6 in one room, they should be charged. They should be taken to court. You rent a place for 2 people or 3 people, that's it.
Well, I have been singing this song for the longest while. Business people, and who vex laws, they encourage the bloody nonsense. Now today, in this COVID environment where there's this fear of community spread, there's this panic among the population.
Business people and people have a room to rent. They're only concerned about the dollar and
the money, yeah.
They're not concerned about this country and who die. Who dead. They could make a $10 and they smile. And they don't care what happened to anybody else. And this is, you see, this has to do with education, the way we have been brought up. Because if you look at what's taking place in this country, there's no time that all the people of this country get together and say, okay, this is a cause that we have to fight together. Even this virus right now, you have people for this thing and against this thing. What the PNM say, you agree. What the UNC say, disagree. What the UNC say, you agree. What the PM say, disagree. It is always a divide. We never get together on one thing because the education is like that. They start with, Kevin. They start with. Your child goes to primary school. You have to pass for a big school, You have to pass for a special school, The child is 11 years, you don't have the child watching their friends and want to be better than their friends. They are doing better than their friends. they're not able to grow as together with their friends and cooperate and live and work together. You start from early. And if you didn't get prestige school, you fail. You listen that. This is what takes place in this place called Trinidad. And I am saying the way to solve that, community schools. You're living in Barkpaw, you go into Barkpaw Secondary. You live in Penal, you go into Penal Secondary. You know you go into Penal and you're going to presentations and no. And get the appropriate people to go to the appropriate school, because prestige school is not prestige children, you know. It's prestige teachers. Get the teachers working. Community secondary school. You're in Canada. You can't be living in one area here and going to a secondary school somewhere else. You have to go to the school in the area. But not in this country. In this country, it's who have friends and going presentation. But now listen.
Okay.
Have a good morning.
Well, thank you very much, Chris, for your contribution with us this morning. We're heading up to the hour of 8 o'clock. Let's go to some commercials here this morning. And we'll take the 8 o'clock newscast with Irma Ratan Singh. And when we come back, we'll be into the third and final hour of today's edition of the morning program. You Talk, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
The party continues this Saturday. Yes, this Saturday, the Hot Like Pepper Reloaded continues from 8 to 12 noon. Sharon Baru alongside DJ Vishal, 12 noon to 3 p.m. The captain takes full flight. Yes, Captain Kendall Juggernaut from 12 noon to 3 p.m. From 3 to 7 p.m. DJ Anil is in with a Hot Like Pepper mix. And from 7 to 1 a.m. the man Corky D is in the building and will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com for the Hot Like Pepper Saturdays Reloaded.
This is Samaru Ramru inviting you on a journey down memory lane with enchanting songs on the program Nightline. Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Let your heart sing along with the music on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Let's talk Guyana. Join us as we share news and issues coming out of Guyana, Mondays to Fridays at 11 a.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For all the years I live in this country, the only time I see real progress was under the UNC. Places that had no water and roads, nobody lost their jobs, and they managed this country like a real boss. The happiest times was under UNC. The last 5 years under PNM was the worst I ever see in all my life. Lord, I hope they may come back. That will be real trouble for we. Real trouble. What will happen to the people, to the children, and to this country if PNM come back, Lord? I want back my life. I want back my future. On August 10th, I am voting UNC.
On August 10th, all you come out and vote UNC. Come out, vote UNC.
That was a paid political announcement.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 8 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Irma Ratan Singh. Good morning. We begin the news with this day in history. 30 years ago, on Friday, July 27, 1990, at 6 p.m., the country faced its darkest moment when the then government, National Alliance for Reconstruction, led by A.N.R. Robinson, was overthrown by the Jamaat al-Muslimin in an attempted coup. At that time, Yassin Abu Bakr appeared on television and announced that the government had been overthrown. Prime Minister Robinson was beaten, dragged, and shot in the lower right leg when he tried to order the army to attack the militants. The Jamaat al-Muslimin leader Yassin Abu Bakr led 113 members in taking over the Red House, which was in session, and the only then state-owned Trinidad and Tobago television known as TTT. The siege went on for 6 days, leaving a number of people dead and a large section of commercial businesses in Port of Spain ruined and police headquarters totally destroyed. The former finance minister and deputy leader of the National Alliance for Reconstruction government in 1990, Winston Ducaran, served as a negotiator during the coup attempt and was appointed the interim prime minister during the crisis. Government officials were tortured. The country faced major destruction through looting, burning of the city, loss of families, and other ordeals. It took years before Trinidad and Tobago could have regained its economy and rebuild its city. President of Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Antonia De Freitas, said no examination is worth a child's life. This comes after a child was tested positive for COVID-19 last week. The child was attending classes in preparation for SEA examinations. Mrs. De Freitas made the statements in an interview with members of the media over the weekend. One of her concerns outlined in the guidelines issued by the Ministry of Health is schools having an isolation room.
That is with the presumption that the school plant has the facility to isolate, that there is the presumption that someone from the Ministry of Health would arrive on the compound in a timely manner. Well, at this point in time, tutor stands to be guided by the Ministry of Health's pronouncements. Good? And this is why we are saying that there must be proper consultation. Continue to advise our members to take care of themselves and use the precautions. And if necessary, we will then have a discussion with our members on what course of action we will follow.
She said tutor wrote to the Ministry of Health to seek advice but never got a response.
Well, at this point in time, tutor stands to be guided by the Ministry of Health's pronouncements. Good? And this is why we are saying that there must be proper consultation. Continue to advise our members to take care of themselves and use the precautions. And if necessary, we will then have a discussion with our members on what course of action we will follow.
The voice of tutor President Antonia De Freitas. The Tobago Heritage Festival is being done virtually this year. This as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. The launch kicked off on Friday on social media and television. The festival is known as one of the island's signature events. It is usually held during the 2-week period in the lead up to Emancipation Day. During the launch, Assistant Secretary Shomini Hector said no pandemic is forever. He expressed hope that brighter days will be ahead.
When we will be able to get over this hurdle of restriction, and be found in common places of social gathering again in our mass numbers, where we will in person enjoy the offerings of our culture and our festivals. I anticipate in 2021 and beyond that we will have an opportunity to parade the streets of Moriah.
Well, at this point in...
And in some political news, according to a statement issued by the Office of the Prime Minister yesterday, CARICOM observers who were invited to monitor the upcoming August 10th general election were unable to afford the costs associated with the mandatory 14-day quarantine period, which is an integral part of the management of COVID-19 pandemic. However, they specifically cited constraints due to financial strictures that disallow them from meeting this cost. The response comes after opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar asked for clarity on their attendance during the general election. According to the statement, Dr. Rowley extended invitations to observers on July 9th to consider sending election observation missions and were told of the mandatory 14-day quarantine. United National Congress candidate for Princestown, Barry Padarat, returned to his constituency to campaign one day after his quarantine ended and revealed that police had not contacted him about any ongoing investigations. This as the TTPS White-Collar Crime Unit was expected to speak to Padarat concerning an investigation into a $3 million bank account when he returned from Miami. However, Padarat, in an interview at the Princestown market yesterday, reiterated that the allegations were all part of a PNM's conspiracy meant to distract the UNC from its victory. Asked if the police had interviewed him, Padarat said he have heard from no one and will not be distracted from going forward. He also slammed Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley for saying that the costs were too high to bring in CARICOM observers for the August 10th general election. And in crime news, Sugar Aloe's son shot dead in Brooklyn. The son of Calypsonian Michael Sugar Aloe's Oswana has been killed in New York. According to a U.S. report, a 39-year-old Ansel Blackman was shot mere steps away from his apartment building outside a church between Bedford and Rogers Avenue in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, on Friday afternoon. Relatives said he was shot on his way from work. And continuing, while citizens in TNT were in fear of Tropical Storm Gonzalo, that did not stop the fear of crime. According to police reports, around midday on Saturday, a man was found dead after shooting in Sangre Grande. Officers of the Eastern Division received information that a man was lying face down with what appeared to be a wound at the side of his head at the side of Mandelian Road coal mine. The deceased was described as of African descent, slim-built, short graying hair, clad in an orange jumper and black rubber boots. The man's identity has not yet been confirmed by relatives. And in an updated story of the recent child abuse, a 26-year-old Princestown woman who was recently charged with cruelty to her 9-year-old child is claiming that she used a pot spoon and not a broomstick to beat the child, as stated in previous reports. She claimed that a pot spoon was used to discipline the child, which caused injuries to her shoulder, forearms, belly, and wrist. The mother was arrested last Wednesday by officers of the Child Protection Unit and appeared virtually before Rio Claro Magistrate last Thursday, where she pleaded guilty to the cruelty of the child, which occurred on July 11th. The mother was placed on $5,000 bail and the matter was adjourned to August 5th. The child has since been placed in the care of her father. And regionally in Guyana, as election controversies continue, Attorney General Basil Williams on Saturday maintained that the results of the 2020 general and regional elections can only be declared by the Guyana Elections Commission on the sole advice of Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield. However, the chief election officer in his latest elections report had advised the Elections Commission that the APNU and AFC won the March 2nd elections based on the declarations made by the 10 returning officers in March, but that did not sit well with Chairman of the Elections Commission, Justice Retired Claudette Singh. Internationally, according to a BBC report, North Korea has reported what is described as the country's first suspected case of coronavirus. Leader Kim Jong-un held an emergency meeting with top officials imposing a lockdown in the border city of Kaesong. North Korea, a secretive state, had previously not reported any virus cases, but analysts said it was unlikely. An emergency event happened in Kaesong City, where a runaway who went to South 3 years ago is suspected to have been infected with the vicious virus and returned on July 19th after illegally crossing the demarcation line. And on to the weather forecast from this morning. This morning period will experience partly cloudy condition at times with periods of showers and rain, and the medium chance of the isolated thunderstorm with gradual improvement during the afternoon. Gusty winds and street or flash floods can be experienced in areas under heavy showers and thunderstorms. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves 1.5 to 2.0 meters in open waters and near calm in sheltered areas. High tides at 9:13 a.m. and 8:48 p.m. Low tides at 3:16 p.m. Sunset at 6:30 p.m. Temperatures are expected to reach to a high of 30 degrees Celsius. It is presently 28 degrees. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. news. Join us again at 10 a.m. for news update. I am Uma Ratan Singh wishing you a safe and good morning. Back to Kenrick with You Talk.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Sheikh Leisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Sheikh Leisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
Sign my name with a golden pen, a golden pen. Sign my name, sign my name. I want you sign my name. We vote in PNM.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
Yes, indeed, and just about 19 minutes here past the hour of 8 o'clock, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Let's say good morning to our callers. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Honorable Kenrick and Nicole. I got it right this time.
Yes, you certainly did. Go ahead.
Now, there is talk and there is a lot of information that the Prime Minister said it might be difficult for the Commonwealth observers to come in, and he made mention to cost, and the opposition refuted that. But what I want to say, in the past, remember when Desi Rodriguez came in, our borders were shut. What protocol was used in terms of quarantining her to visit the Prime Minister? Remember, it's not only she, but about 10 of them came in and went directly to the office of the Prime Minister. Remember, and our border was shut down. What was the protocol used then? That's the same protocol to be used with the Commonwealth observers, you know?
No, well, I read this story this morning, and it certainly raised my eyebrows. You're talking here about costs. But what cost it is to actually host these observers here when you're looking in terms of free and fair election?
Yeah.
If you understand my drift.
And it is a bogus argument because you, as the Prime Minister, You had everything in front of you. You knew exactly what did. So you're supposed to be proactive. You probably didn't have the intelligence to be proactive, or you probably designed it to be this way. So you could have signaled to them, hey fellas, we want all to come in, pa. You can still keep it quiet from the opposition, but I want them to use the same protocol, because Delcy said she had flu-like symptoms and with a week before, and she were allowed to come in. So she had to undergo some sort of testing prior to coming in. So why do they tell the Commonwealth comes over, show it two negatives and all they come in, use the same protocol? Let us understand. It was that minute in that meeting how she came in to discuss with the Prime Minister.
No, but we operate in a very unusual environment here now. We're talking about COVID-19.
Right.
But I don't think that if you have CARICOM observers, which might just be about 4 or 5 people or so, that there's any need to quarantine. Just once you do a test, there's no need to quarantine.
Right, and all of these people, all the countries they come into have done it well. St. Vincent, the Grenadines, all of these people are opening the borders. Barbados,
because
they're way advanced.
Because
of us with respect to opening the borders and the economy.
Because one would not expect the government of the day to quarantine any diplomatic mission coming into the country.
Right.
Let's say you have a delegation coming from, let's say, from Europe or even England, per se, for some sort of conference, for some sort of talks. Of course, they'll be tested, but I don't expect these people to be quarantined for 14 days.
Tell me, and these people are competent people. They will understand the do's and the don'ts. I mean, they say, oh man, something is wrong with the leadership of this country. So trying to pull wool over we eyes about 3 times.
No, but that's why you have to look at things from a rational point of view. The point I'm making here to you, let's say you have a delegation coming from the United States. Let's say President Donald Trump, Vice President, and 4 other officials. Are you saying that they're going to be subjected to quarantine?
Exactly so. No, I want to touch on another point. You remember it have a fellow by the name of Brian Manning?
Yeah.
You remember he had developed a sport activity that was funded by the government. I think it was about 10 million or more, 20 million, something like that. Wasn't that to get the black boys off the street to play basketball? Wasn't that a life sport initiative on a particular scale? Tell me if I'm wrong, you know. I have a good memory, you know. I mean, this is a bashing life sport and thing, but that was the first initiative for life sport. You wanted the fellas come off the street, and he was attempting to do a big basketball lead all over Trinidad. Tell me if that different to the last thing, which was in a grander style, a bigger style. I go on, I say no more.
All right,
and I want my 4 seats from Clarence Rambarat.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. As we move on to our conversation. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ken. How are you?
I'm doing fine this morning, friend. How are you keeping?
Well, I'm listening to all of this thing about observers not coming and thing. I think probably our local people could ask our Jamaican neighbors a little bit, for some advice, right? Because they have opened up their borders, with protocols in place, right? Yeah, but one of the prerequisites is that people coming there have a negative test, right? And within 8 hours, they are actually given the results of another test. And if that is true, they could, of course, proceed merrily along. So I think we could get some help or, some advice from our Jamaican counterparts.
All right, friend. Well, I hear you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, I hear you. Well, yes, opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar for some time now have been calling on Dr. Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, to ensure that there are observers for the 2020 general election. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning,
Hi, good morning, friend. How are you doing? What's happening?
Good, man. I got rain falling.
Okay, so there's no play?
No play for the morning.
Okay.
Rain still falling. Yes.
So,
number one, what they had a son named Cornwall doing on that team? You could say, so why they didn't put this boy from Guyana, this boy who could run from the slip to the boundary, or put him on the boundary to field so he could run on our ball? You pick a man, put him in a slip, and when the ball hit the hand and out, you can't turn around to get it. that that is what West Indies encouraging in cricket, right?
No, I would have discussed this with some cricketing fans yesterday, and I would have offered that Joshua De Silva should have been on that team for this third test, given the fact that Shane Dorrich has not been performing well behind the stumps, has not been getting the runs that is so required. I also said that they should have played an additional batsman and instead of Raheem Cornwall. Why? Because you have Ruston Chase, who can also bowl off spin.
But Cornwall could be how good he is.
No, but the composition of the team, I don't think that this current West Indies team, and I'm sorry to say, this current West Indies team can really stand up to, let's say, Australia, England, and India, and so on in the Test series. You may come good at particular time, but you're not consistent.
But they're trying to December, if I look at it. Imagine you telling me, as a selector, you picking Cornwall that can run a ball down, and even bat, even bowl. What West Indies is encouraging youngsters to do, right?
Well, Cornwall is on the team based on his stats in the domestic competition.
Yeah,
but no. I'm holding. If about batting is the problem, well then you strengthen the batting by putting another additional batsman on the team. Anyway, well that's water beneath the bridge now, because actually if you are saying rain, there's forecast for rain today, so rain may save the West Indies. Yes.
But I am telling you that I could be a captain of any team. Cornwall can make my team. Cornwall can run. The man can run on a ball to the boundary. How we go save a run for me, right? I don't even want a man to bowl. I want a man to run. I telling you that. And let me tell you something. Any observers was in Guyana election, right?
Yeah, but the observer is just that, to observe, they cannot make a decision, they can only make a recommendation.
How Guyana election going like this and the observers then was there, right?
No, well, the observers' mandate is to ensure that people have that people who are registered to vote to ensure that the process is free and fair, and they can only make a report.
Well, what happened now in Guyana? Why is if the observers was there, two set of observers? How come now they're still in the court? They're still line up. They're still doing this. They're doing that. They're doing all kind of things.
That is the right of the Granger administration. They can take the matter further. They can, to my humble opinion, they're just procrastinating.
Let me tell you something. We never had a problem down here with election and rigging and all them thing and all them foolish thing. I don't see nothing for observers coming to watch the election or to see nothing. It has the people there on the two sides.
Well, hold on. If the opposition leader is calling for observers to be here for the 2020 general election, I, as a prime minister, I would give her that. Because you see, you don't want to leave room for any sort of argument after the election results have been announced. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand all that, but what I'm saying is that you have both sides of the fence sit down there checking your polling paper and all them kind of thing. And are fairly based one by one, and your people them there. How you could do something out of the reach. And one more thing. I want to ask Larry Sami if he was invited to this meeting in David at Munilal Keep. Munilal Keep a cottage meeting in David. I wonder if he invite Larry Sami to go or if Larry Sami went to hear what he had to say. Because all Munilal doing is because Munilal never keep meetings for 5 years in David in cottage meeting or nothing like that. And only talking in Parliament about oil. So I want to ask Larry if he went to that meeting because he keep a cottage meeting in David.
All right, my friend. All right, let's leave it there for you a while. All right, and thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. Just talking some cricket there with one of our callers here this morning. West Indies coming up against England in that third and crucial test. West Indies under the gun to save the match. Well, rain is forecast. According to my caller, the rain is it's raining in England, so that may have some sort of impact on the game. Anyway, stay with us here, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Let's go to some commercials this morning. It's just about 8:30 here in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Stay with us here, 975.
Are you tired of aches and pains in your joints and back area? Well, your relief is here with Ridopain Liniment. Ridopain Liniment gets rid of fibrositis, strains, sprained ligaments, stiffness, and all your arthritic and muscular pains. It is also excellent for sport injuries. Try Ridopain Liniment today. It really works. Available at Bartlett Drugs and all leading pharmacies nationwide.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When I look back on the last 5 years, as a young working mother and wife, I have to say, things were so difficult. Going to the grocery, my salary could have barely made ends meet. My husband lost his job at Petrotrin. Our home is falling apart. We couldn't save. My daughter was born in the time of the UNC. I felt so confident that she had a bright future. God forbid, if this PNM returns, my household will be finished. On August 10th, my unemployed husband and I will be voting for our lives and our future. We will be voting UNC.
That was a paid political announcement.
I have journeyed.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, Jesus is the answer.
It's Yummy Tummy Time with Ermi. Join me Mondays to Fridays at 9:30 a.m. and get tasty and exciting recipes. Learn to create dishes and much more right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Yummy Tummy with Ermi.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
Yeah, indeed, and welcome back to 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper as we move up to the hour of 9 o'clock. Just about 25 minutes here to the hour of 9. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad, the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. And yes, you can stay with us here as we continue to look at the developments taking place and more so on the political landscape. Let me remind you that we describe ourselves as the election headquarters where you can go get all of the necessary information and updates. Well, this morning we were supposed to talk to Mr. Clifford Rambarose, the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Oropouche East. Well, we haven't gotten through to him. Maybe sometime during the course of the week, we will get a conversation with him. So you can call us here this morning. Let me know what is happening in your constituency, what is happening in your part of the jurisdiction. What are some of the problems you're facing? What are some of the challenges? Call us this morning and share your thoughts with us. 636-7547, 227-5739. You can also WhatsApp us at 378-4975. The morning program, the most interactive morning program on the airwaves of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, this morning we would have dealt at length with this matter of illegal immigrants into Trinidad and Tobago. To this end, Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith, well, he's taking a keen look at what is happening in the southwest peninsula at these porous borders. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Morning, Kenrick.
Hey, good morning, sir. How are you? What's happening?
Good, good. Well, Kenrick, we are in the week of what I would call a decision maker. If you had to win the election, you had to win it this week.
Why would you say that, boy?
Because everything requires a certain amount of time now.
Well, I think I think people would have already made up their mind which direction they vote in.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I want to say to some of the callers and some of the people who monitoring the PNM, and they're trying their best not to vote for the UNC, but because when they analyze the facts of the matter, they know that they had to go and vote against the PNM. Right? So for example, one of the callers who talk about observers not being in Trinidad and whatever else, observers has always been part of the process in this country. Right? And one of the reasons you have observers is like a check valve now. So that when the election is over, right, somebody could write a report and say anything valid or it is valid. Right? Now, as you refer to Guyana, the U.S. government, based on their observation, have indicated to the Guyanese authorities that here we're going on, or they have problems, and there could be sanctions.
Yes.
Right? So that is the impact of an observer now. So the PNM supporters and those people who are trying their best to apologize to the PNM, I want them to understand the facts of the matter. The other thing is that the PNM, under the last 5 years of Rowley, have proved Patrick Manning absolutely correct. I couldn't give Patrick Manning more credit. I don't know what else he did in his life that was so accurate to describe Rowley as a crazy man. Why we call him as something in a China shop, right? And because this man shut down Petrotrin, right? He brutalized this country. Colin Imber, under the Rowley government, raised taxes on oil and gas and oil first on the gas station, right? And they brutalized the citizens of this country. And they have to go now and try and find a way. This is the PNM supporter and voter. How we could vote for this PNM boy, right? He wanted to criticize Munilal for having a meeting in the constituency of Debe where he represents. And as to say Munilal don't be in Debe, he dreaming. Now, I'm just saying, I have a question. Why in this country there are no polls? Where are the pollsters, Kenrick?
But probably this week we may get, because I'm expecting that this week you may get people like some of these pollsters to, publish their reports and what have you. And that might show a pattern as to how people may vote. But there's a poll this morning conducted by the Guardian Media Group, and where they are saying that both Kamla Bissessar and Dr. Keith Rowley in a dead heat.
Wait, so Kamla fighting Diego Martin or Rowley fighting Siparia?
No, we're talking here about in general.
And they were saying that is an irrelevant poll. There are 41 elections taking place in this country. 41. Kamla fighting somebody down in Siparia and Rowley fighting somebody down up in Diego Martin.
No, we're talking about the poll conducted. The poll said, who do you think would make the best Prime Minister? Kamla Bissessar or Dr. Keith Rowley? 39% said Dr. Keith Rowley. That's according to the poll.
According to the poll is irrelevant. You have to find out who voting for Rowley in Diego Martin.
Nobody. No. Hold on. Let me challenge you. You hear a bit. You're calling for these pollsters. You're asking the question where are these polls and what have you. And now you're saying that a poll has been conducted in part maybe by the Guardian Media Group, and you are saying that the poll is not a true reflection as to what is happening.
It's irrelevant. What I'm trying to get you to understand, there are 41 seats being contested in the election. 41. If you go and tell me in Pointe-a-Pierre, or in San Fernando West, or in La Joqueta Talparo, or in Barataria Sawa, the residents, the voters, the poll was taken there. Who will be the better prime minister? That have more value. But you can't do a national poll when there is no national election. Right? Tell me in Barataria Sawa, people like Rowley Moore or Kamla Moore, 40% or 50%. Then I know how Barataria is going in terms of voting for somebody.
Yeah, but then there will always be the argument that a poll is not a true reflection of the sentiments of the people.
Well, there is that argument, but you do a poll.
No, it depends on which side of the fence you're sitting. But if you're an independent thinker, you will look at the polls and them very seriously indeed. But if you have a certain political suasion, whether it's for the PNM or the United National Congress, you may dispute the findings of the poll.
Correct, but what I'm saying, if you do a poll, if you want to know, the elections will be decided by the amount of seats a party wins in the election, the amount of seats.
All right, okay, hold on. Let me pose this question to you.
Yeah.
2 weeks before a general election, and we would have said this morning that people would have already made up their mind as to which way they would vote. Because I don't think that both the United National Congress or the People's National Movement can make any significant announcement that may sway people to vote.
I agree.
Right. In your humble opinion, given what you have seen thus far, right, who do you see winning the general election?
I am of the firm view, and this is not a biased view, that the election is over. The UNC has won the election, right? The UNC will walk away with 21 to 23 seats in the election. The 2 seats in Tobago will go to Duke, and Jack Warner will do some magic up in that area. I don't know how to predict that one.
Okay, so you're seeing 23 seats for the United National Congress, right?
21 to 23, yeah.
21 to 23, and the 2 seats in Tobago could go to Watson Duke.
Well, it will go to Watson Duke. Right. Now, what I'm trying to say, Kenrick, is that the polls, the media houses who are owned by a certain group of people, right, are managing the polls. They are not doing the polls because, for example, let me say the 3 seats.
No, well, you see, this is why I'm trying some difficulty in understanding your argument. You are saying that most of these media houses are controlled by, let's say, and don't put water in your mouth, are controlled by sympathizers and supporters of the People's National Movement, yes?
Right.
So whatever poll is conducted or published, you may have a different view on it because you are saying that these media houses are controlled by the People's National Movement.
Well, correct. Nigel Henry was predicting in the previous election, the local plus the general last time. He was predicting weeks and months before how the election going, right? And he was going constituency by constituency, right? Because that is what matters. For example, in the UNC, you have Barataria Sawa, you have Chaguanas East. Those are the seats that the PNM is eyeing to win in Trinidad from the UNC. The UNC is eyeing La Joqueta Talparo, the Moruga seat, and the Grandi seat as the top 3 seats that they will pull. Why aren't there a poll on those 6 constituencies to see how the thing going in those?
All right, well, you're asking a question, why is there not a poll? But who will commission it? Me?
No. Well, but this was saying Nigel Henry, NACTA, and the other major poll. I can't remember the polls offhand. But these people always predicted. Now I am saying, because of the UNC being ahead in those constituencies, because the UNC is poised to capture the government, those polls are being suppressed because the evidence is there. And now they come in with a national poll who like Kamla more and who like Rowley more and who was more corrupt and those kind of irrelevant questions.
All right, well, I hear you, my friend. But somehow or the other, as a media practitioner, I do not have much of faith in poll. I remember some poll was conducted back then where it was said that the ONR would have won the election. They would have gotten a number of votes, yes, but they didn't win a bloody seat. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, the Honorable Kenrick.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
And Nicole.
Yeah.
Let us talk about polls. And a lot of those polls are not true random polls. For example, I have been part of the Henry poll for the last 4 or 5 elections. Consistently, I think he has it on a database and he calls my number. I don't think he knows me. But he calls my number all the time. So every time I get it, I say, is it random or is this easy work for them because I have consistently answered all his questions. So he looked like he put that in his database and called me back all the time because, you know, people do like to be part of polls. They don't like to give out what they're doing and who they prefer and things like that. Now, what I really call on is there is apparently another case. I'm seeing it on one of the newspapers in Arima. It's a 40-old gentleman who in a household of, I believe, about 8 or 9. And he has kids who basically goes to one of the Arima primary school. So we look like we having another set of janjat again because he have tested positive. So this proves that we have some spread, you know.
Community spread you're talking about, yes?
Yeah, community spread. So we have to get the source of where it is. Is it because of people infiltrating our borders and it has gotten out of hand? I don't want to discriminate against people from another country who seeking some sort of livelihood in this Trinidad, but it appears to be that because that sort of refugees that has infiltrated all our communities in Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm not saying it is definitely that sort of nexus, but I am thinking it could be that. How can we get away from that now? Because it appears that if this gentleman is the source, then the primary contact is his children, and then the secondary contact going to be the SCA classes again. So you see how very, very alarming and frightening it is now.
Well, I agree with you, you know, and we could be in for, let's say, a very challenging and troubling a couple of weeks. I'm not talking here about the general election and the campaign. I'm talking here about the level of the spike which we are seeing in coronavirus. And note also too that school is set to open in September. I don't know how this will factor in the coming weeks. I really don't know. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Well, finally.
Yeah, good morning, Bhavani. What's going on?
Well, boy, I'm listening to all the discussions. But I want to start with Adel Huma. I know the morning going tense. Gonzalo say he changed his mind for 2 reasons. 1, it had too much Spanish living here, and 2, he didn't get the exemption.
No, and 3, Trinidadians, Trinidadians, they are accustomed to thief and win.
Right.
So you see, I brought a smile into your face, right?
Right. So we're good with that.
Yeah.
Polls.
No, hold on, Bhavani. I love the one with Gonzalo didn't get exemption, so he just had to go somewhere else, yes?
Well, he couldn't even go back to Venezuela.
All right, go ahead, Bhavani. Go ahead. It's nice to laugh, fellow. Go ahead.
Polls. Polls don't really give you a true reflection. They are forecasted by pollsters, and as the caller quite rightly said, you know, they probably call the same set of people election after election.
And remember, these
survey after survey.
No, and hold on. And these pollsters have their own political suasion, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand? So whether the poll is done by A or B, you will get a thing that will make one party happy and the other one not so happy. But I want you to keep that fella's stats in mind when we're doing the analysis. He said between 21 and 23, he said 3 for thing, so which means that is 26. So he's saying 15, between 15 for the PNM, right? Let we take note of all those who given their forecast. So it will make interesting listening, not reading, listening.
And what do you see in your crystal ball?
What do I see? I see 2019 with Tobago East going to the Duke faction.
All right, so that is 2019 and 1 to the Duke faction. That is 40 seats.
Okay, 1 to the Duke and 1 to the ILP.
To the ILP.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Right. So let me look at that because I know that it will make very interesting reading.
Well,
I was just monitoring the Tobago station.
Well, I've told people many moons ago that Duke could be a significant factor in this general election.
He could.
Yeah.
I was just monitoring the Tobago radio station, And one woman complained. She say the current MP say she boasting so much about she do thing for tourism in Tobago, which is a complete lie. So you know, everybody have the sides to play. What I'm asking the voters this morning: stop, think. You may have made up your mind, but rethink again. Have you gotten what were promised to you by anybody over the last 5 to 10 years? You have 2 elections to compare: 2010 to 2015, and you have 2015 to now to compare, and determine to help you determine where and how and who you want to go with.
All right, Barwani. Well, thank you very much. Yeah,
now,
okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were through with your conversation with me. As we move up to the hour of 9 o'clock, it's just about 8 minutes here to the hour of 9. And that time check, courtesy Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call, my friend, but I still can stick in 2 callers again. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I heard Keith Rowley say that, I've heard it on our Prime Minister say that elections are won on the night of the election. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard a political party, never heard them going into election. I talk about none ever, NIV, ONR, going into election and saying that they're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're trading behind.
Quite true.
Or the fact is, you know, when you hear what Luke talk in the last election, when you hear everybody talk, you swear they're going and win. You swear PNM going and win. You swear UNC going and win. But the fact of the matter is, out of the last election, it was 23 seats to 17 seats.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So let's say 17 seats at 17 seats for PNM. 23 seats for the PNM, 17 for UNC. I am not predicting it until the night. But let's say now Jack Warner is in the race now, right? The last time Jack Warner went up for the election, he failed miserably. I just saying that when you lost, right? Yeah, and you didn't go up for the seat that you're going up for. You went in for Warner. If it is that you have Jack Warner, you have PNM, and you have UNC, I don't think that Jack Warner has that amount of support to drastically change that margin seat that they had there between PNM and UNC. For Jack Warner to win that seat. I don't think he's going to win the seat because it's 2,000 votes.
No, let me add here. I don't think it's a matter whether Jack Warner will be able to win the seat. It's the fact that he can do some damage to both the People's National Movement and the UNC.
And that is all any third party will do.
And in any third element or third factor, it works against the United National Congress.
Correct. Yeah. And this is what I'm going to say too, because the United National Congress have never won an election by themselves against the PNM. That's a fact. You understand? They have always joined up every time to get to the government. And if it is that you don't have a partnership now, you don't have a partnership, that's a reality. So people running by themselves, and I be doing this, and I say the bottom line is, do you have enough votes now to capture the government? And when the fellow said that he expects Kamala to win by so and so and so and so, my brother, you have a crystal ball that you see, but I don't think from where I am sitting, that's 5 seats different. That's 5
well, as I said, it's a matter of determination. It's a matter of opinion based on what you are seeing on the ground thus far. People may say PNM, people may say UNC. We'll just have to wait and see, my friend. That's why it is.
You're
go ahead.
Correct. So that's why polls, at the end of the day, that is why polls can be irrelevant, because you're not polling the entire district, or the amount of people that is in the constitution, that is in the constitution. The consecutive. You understand? I am saying to you that at the end of the night, I know political parties lost and say they win. You understand? I know people say they lost. I know only have one winner. At the end of the day, you either in the government or you in the opposition.
All right, let's leave it there for a while because I have to bring the curtain down on today's edition of the morning program and invite you again, the the listening audience to join me just after the 6 o'clock hour tomorrow, where we'll do this all over again. Well, as I look out of our studio here in Couva in central Trinidad, it's a bit gloomy in central Trinidad, and the Met Office did indicate that we can expect some showers today. So if you do have to venture outside, please walk with an umbrella, yeah? And wherever you go or whatever you are doing, please take 975 FM Hot Like Pepper with you. We'll keep you thoroughly entertained and informed during the course of the day. I am Kenrick Juggernaut. Do have a safe and blessed morning, folks. I'm out of here. I leave you with Natasha Wilson. This is a favorite ditty of mine. I hope you enjoy it.